Dr. Monica, who is the CEO and co-founder of Cure4You. Dr. Monica, welcome to the program today.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Monica, you have a last name too. I'll let you say that because I can't say that.
Nobody can. It's Bolbjerg.
Bolbjerg. Okay. All right. So, Dr. Monica Bolbjerg, or I probably didn't say that right, but I'm going to refer to you as just Dr. Monica. And she has opened or started a tech company, a medical tech company here, Cure4You. So, give us a quick pitch. What is this?
So it's actually a platform where people can get access to their data to better understand their health. It started out because when I worked as a doctor, I met so many patients that had no clue about what they needed to do with their health. And people always say, well, people don't want to get better. They don't care. I've never met patients that didn't want to get better. They just didn't know how.
Okay.
So we wanted to give patients data so they could get a better understanding of their health.
Okay, so this again, Cure4You, and there's a Q in there to confuse us a little bit because when I was looking at this initially, I was like, what is that? So first off, why the Q instead of the C for Cure4You?
Well, it started out just because we just couldn't get the right domain over here in the U.S.
Okay, makes sense.
But now we kind of
I was thinking it was some prolific and all creative and stuff. I picked their brain a little bit during the break.
Well, it turned out to be. So actually people really stop up and think about it so they remember it. So now we're actually rolling out to all the countries we're in.
Yeah, I was looking at it, I was like Q-U-R-E. I thought it was an acronym at first, but then it finally kicked in and it's Cure4You. Okay, so this is a database that holds patients' information. Is that correct?
It's instead of only your doctor has your data. Now you can have your own data from all your doctors in one place. And that means that you can have your own care plan, you can have your own goals, and you can work with all your doctors about your data, and you don't have to rely on your doctor having your data. So when you travel, you have your data as well.
Now, do the doctors have to buy into the program or support? I mean, what if you go to a doctor and they don't know anything about Cure4You?
Well, they don't have to. You'll have a health card, so you can show that health card to your doctor, and he can actually access your data and doesn't have to.
But I mean, the new data, I'm saying the input that doctor gives you on that day, how does that information then? Do you put that in yourself, or will they put that in?
You can, but we also integrated to many hospitals and clinics in the U.S. We can pull out data from 175 million medical U.S. records.
Oh, okay.
And you can also integrate with trackers and home monitoring devices, and so it's very automated. You don't have to do it manually.
Okay, yeah, this will speed up information transfers.
Yeah, I've always said the medical community has been lagging behind, at least with medical records and technology. I mean, today,
it's always a hassle.
And today, even when you go to the doctor and you get a prescription, they're still handwriting this thing on a piece of paper. This should be in some type of database that is connected to all the different pharmacies.
Yes.
And I think there is a system like that out there, but I don't know if all the doctors are involved in that.
No, but it's moving in the right direction. It's going very fast, very fast. So I think we'll see big changes within the next 5 to 10 years. And so doctors are getting onto a health record system, and once they're on that, we can then pull out that data and populate it into your own.
Is this tied into people's insurance programs too, or is this something that's completely independent of insurance?
No, it's completely independent. It's your data. It's private, so you are the only one that have access to it, and you can decide who you want to share with. So it's not going to go into any insurance program. It's not going to go to any doctor unless you want them to see it.
Okay, so how does this work? Is this a membership that you pay for this database? How does this work?
Normal people can go online and use it for free. We sell into doctors. We sell into employers. We help employers help their employees get healthier. So a lot of employers wants to help their employees get better tools. So we then go in and sell the platform to them.
Okay, I'm over at the website right now, again, cure4you.com with the letter Q instead of C up front. And it starts with, what is your health score? So tell us about this.
So the health score is a way to assess your lifestyle. So it's a thing it's a small test that takes 5 minutes, and it will give you a score about how your lifestyle has been the last week. And it will tell you what you're doing well and what you can do better, and now you can set goals for yourself. So it'll give you better insight into your lifestyle, and that will eventually lead you in the right direction for your health.
And so people can sign up on this website. How many different users do you have now?
We have almost 2 million users.
2 million users. Wow, incredible. And when did you come up with, when was this launched?
We started in Europe in 2001, and we're now in the US. We are in South America. We're opening up in Germany and in Middle East.
Wow. And so was this launched, it was launched overseas before you brought it to the
Yes,
States?
yes.
And you were a doctor in Denmark, right?
Yes.
And what was your specialty in medicine there?
I was working a lot in urgent care. I wanted to be a surgeon, and then I got caught up in this process.
So then you became an entrepreneur and launched
Yes.
a tech company completely, outside of, I mean, it's not outside of medical, obviously, it's a medical company and everything, but you're no longer a practicing doctor. Though.
No,
Yeah.
I had to choose at one point.
Do you miss the medical profession, the day in and day out?
No, I use it a lot. I use my experience, I use my knowledge to translate that into tools so that people can get a better understanding of their health. And
But talk about having something to fall back on. If the website tanks, you still have that kind of thing. It's crazy.
I mean, how long have you been in the States versus over in Denmark and in Europe?
So our family moved over here 4 years ago, but we
Okay.
launched the program over here a year ago.
Okay.
We wanted to stay. We took a little time to find out if it was something we could do here in the U.S., and now we have a lot of success.
One thing I'm curious about, I mean, healthcare is a huge topic, a political topic here with Obamacare, and what's the differences between healthcare here in the States versus where you're from in Denmark?
So actually, I've been traveling with a consultancy company called McKinsey & Company all over the world, and funny enough, it's moving in the same direction everywhere. It's moving from fee-for-service, where doctors only want to see you when you're actually ill, into more value-based care. And so it's not only here in the US, it's all over the world. It's going that direction. People realize that if they want to do that, they have to include the patient in their own care. And if you want to include the patient in their own care, you have to give them tools, you have to give them data. You can't just send them out there and say, well, get better. I mean, you have to really give them something. So that's why we right now have a lot of success.
I mean, but in Denmark, is there an insurance program sort of like they are here in the States, or is there a single-payer system?
Denmark is public funded. Here it's more private in South America.
So is it a single-payer system in Denmark then? Okay, and how would you say it compares then in terms of functionality to the way we're doing it here in America? Is it better or is it worse? I mean, I'm just trying to find the differences because you've experienced this from a medical perspective over in Europe.
So there's pros and cons. Everybody has coverage, but the level of the quality is not as good as here. So I would say if you have coverage, I would go to US.
That's what's expected, right?
Yeah, well, there's got to be some cons, right? I mean, because the doctors aren't getting as paid as much if it's public funded.
Well, a big con to having a single payer system is, I mean, it backs up the system, right? I mean, is there a long wait to get into the doctors over there?
That's a long wait.
Sort of like up in Canada too, where they have free health care. I mean, it can take you weeks to get into the to see the doctor, and so that's what the single payer system does, and that's part of the discussion here in the States.
That's probably where the quality problem is then, right?
Yeah. And so if you privatize it, and then you have, obviously you're going to have better quality, higher paid physicians, but then people on the lower end in terms of income, suffer from that. And, that's the debate here.
Yeah, well, wouldn't it motivate people to take more proactive stance in their health and take care of themselves better?
You would think, but that's not always what we see. There's some people that just, or like I said, they complain, they take advantage of the system, they don't work for themselves, but that's just part of our politics.
Stuck in the problem and not in the solution.
Yeah, but I think it's also because they don't have tools many times, and if they use a platform like ours where you actually set goals together with your doctor and you are kept accountable of the goals and the things you want to do at home by your doctor, all of a sudden it motivates people to get started because they feel there's somebody holding their hands.
So how did you get 2 million users? I mean, when people start these types of databases and systems, and it's hard. I mean, how did you market this and grow this into 2 million users?
Because we help doctors be more efficient. So doctors want to help their patients. It's not that they don't want to, but they only have 5 minutes. In those 5 minutes, they have to take a history and make a diagnosis and set a treatment plan and educate you about what you need to do at home and what lifestyle changes you need to do in 5 minutes. I mean, it's just not possible.
But how did you spread the word to get that out there to the community? I mean, how would I, as Dr. Meloni, find out about this? How did you get that word out there to the medical community?
We work with the health IT systems that the doctors have, so they already work with that system, and we then partner with the EMR, medical records that the doctors are using, so we partner with them, and they are more practice-centered, where we are patient-centered, so we combine our solutions, and then it works very well for the doctors.
Okay, so again, this database then centralizes a patient's health information. Me right now, until I met you, I was not familiar with this. If I wanted to go onto this database right now and start to centralize my records, how would that work? Does it pull from different insurance companies? Does it pull from existing things that are out there, or do I have to manually load this into the system?
It pulls from existing systems. So you can go in and you can look up. So for instance, if you've been to Tampa Bay General Hospital, you have a password, username and password for them. You can enter that into our end, and we automatically will pull your records. If you go to Quest, the same thing. If you use a nutrition app like MyFitnessPal, it will also just populate directly into your health record.
Interesting stuff. I got to take another commercial break. Good stuff. I got a lot more with Dr. Monica when I come back from the break, and you can learn more about her product Cure4U at that website, cure4u.com. Just be sure you put a Q in place instead of the C. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni. We're talking with Dr. Monica, CEO and co-founder of Cure4U, and you can learn more about this at cure4u.com. Now, how does this work with employers and their employees?
So depending on what kind of size the company has, but so larger companies that are self-funded, we go in and we help them manage their population. So we give a shared care plan to all the employees, so everybody knows what they need to do when they have their qualifying events, when to go to see the doctor, and they can set individual goals. We have nurses that can help the individual. So if they have diabetes, we can help that person get better and reach their goals.
Okay, so can an employer go to Cure4U and put this as a benefit for their employees, or how does that work from an employer's perspective then?
I mean, employers are getting more and more conscious about health. I mean, if you are a company size of 1,000, and obesity alone, on average, will cost a company $300,000 a year. So they have to do something, but in order to do it, the same problem as doctors, they have to integrate the individual in their own care, give them data, give them tools. So we then go and help them with that.
Okay, and one thing you were talking about was, with when they do like screenings and stuff, and there's just a lot of paperwork involved, and your tool can help them with this.
Yes. So usually when you are in a plan, you have to go and do certain things. So if you have diabetes, you have to have your eye tested, and you have to have your feet tested, etc. And that's all paper-based today, and people don't know what they need to do, so it gets confusing and they forget. We put that on a digital tool, so they have an app, and they will be notified when they need to go see the doctor.
Okay, you say an app. How does this work? Is this available on the Android and iOS systems?
Both.
Okay, and so what's the app do specifically?
So it shows you your care plan, and it will show you a to-do list when you need to see the doctor, but also what you need to do at home. So when do you need to step on the scale? When do you need to monitor your blood pressure? The things that you need to do, but people forget.
Yeah. So
is the app free?
Yes.
It's a free app.
Okay, and then so this Cure4U, then it's free to users, the individual users.
Yes.
Then. So the obvious question is, how are you monetizing this? How do you make money from this database?
So we monetize it by helping the employers be more efficient, and also they can get a better return on investment because we can scan the population. We can find out who needs to have what tool. So instead of buying trackers for the whole population and people are just sitting waggling around and don't know really what they need to use it for, we instead can find out we have 30% of your population that would benefit from an activity tracker. You have 10% that would benefit from help with sleep. So they can kind of direct the money in the right direction.
Okay, so you got salespeople going after the employers, and so that's where you're making the money to support the system and everything. Okay.
Employers or providers, so we also sell into larger provider organizations.
And what's the long-term outlook of this? I mean, you got 2 million users now. What do you expect down the road for this?
Oh, I expect us to be much, much larger. Like, we work with a company right now that has 35 million users, so.
So you think it'll merge with them or become I'm just trying to think, you think this will be a household name one day? Because, I mean, at 2 million users, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, no. It's got to be much larger. 100 million users at least.
Well, it's a good idea and something I'm going to look into for myself.
Well, people from Denmark, that's where Lego's from, and they take over the planet. I love Legos so much. This is how much they've captivated my brain, is that I could step on them in the middle of the night and be happy about it.
There you go. Another fun fact from the show. Denmark is the home of Legos. Is that true?
It is.
Yeah, there you go. Another fact from the show that I wasn't even aware of. So.
Yep, new favorite guest.
Dr. Monica, thank you so much for being in studio.
Thank you for having me.
And again, Dr. Monica, you can learn more about her at cure4u.com. That is the database there that consolidates your health records. Again, cure4u.com. Be sure to put a Q in place of the C. And also thank you to Kathy Hart, who was on the first part of the show, the owner of Nara Camiche. Learn more about her at narafl.com. You've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.